What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Scrubs Allowed podcast. Seal, how's it going, bud?
It's going, man. Just cooling it like LSU football players' helmets will this year.
Hey, do they have like a built-in AC or some shit?
Yeah,
All I
they
saw
do.
is UCFs.
Oh, UCF has them too?
No. That's just the only helmets I've seen.
Oh, no, LSU, yeah, they got AC installed into the like some little fan unit, something or another where they got AC in them. They're
That's
still
some
gonna
bullshit.
fucking
They take off their helmet when they're on the sideline anyway.
they're
Like,
gonna fuck up some parlays. But yeah, I'm chilling, dude. Went to play basketball for the first time in a very long time tonight, and the back did what the fuck is this? The back was doing what the back does. I got a big ass knot in my
you said it
arm.
was game 3, though, right? That's when my back starts to give out, too. The third
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know where the fuck this knot came from. Hopefully that was moving yesterday. But but yeah, I helped my buddy move. Been doing good, bro. Just hanging out, chilling, getting ready for this league. Trying not to do too much, but I don't know. I couldn't leave yesterday. Every time he'd, let's go get another load. I'm like, oh yeah,
Mm.
let's do it. Yay. But yeah, been doing good. Hanging out. Not really too much sports, but the sports that are on have been fucking dope as shit. F1 in Monaco, so we get to see cars with boats and boats with cars and all that
Yo,
crazy
those
shit.
boats were so fucking stacked together. I'm like, how do they even get those bitches in? They were basically
So
touching, bro.
in one of the pictures that has the Isle of Big Boats,
Mm-hmm.
you can see like where that guy's taking the picture from the dock that he's on.
Yeah.
It's all the little like the
The
tiny
little,
man's houseboats,
yeah.
like the houseboats that we still can't afford because
Right.
we but yeah, it's hilarious how they're like, all right, yeah, you boats, y'all go on that side. We need the money boats with the
Where the
money
cameras
shots.
can sit, where you're putting these
Yeah,
big
that's
boats in.
awesome. But sports have legit been entertaining as fuck. Tough just started. It's like you said, anything with Connor in it is going to be good. But that looks like it's going to be a really good season with a lot of competition and, of course, a lot of animosity in that building as well. Game 7 of the finals were fucking insane. For both sides actually. A lot of turmoil and also like one of the most watched playoff games in a very
Yeah.
long time. So it's been really exciting. Sports are a little what's the word I'm looking for? Lack thereof. No. Limited
Sparse?
sports. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
sparse
limited too.
works. Sparse is an actual college person's word. But they've been fruitful
Yeah.
at the same
They've
time.
been action packed. It's been fun. So before we get to the games that are on the field, on the court, let's talk a little bit about some headlines because some shit's happening. And obviously it's the off season for football. We don't really talk too much about football while basketball is going on. But real quick, DeAndre Hopkins got cut by the Cardinals. It wasn't super surprising. We expected them to try to get rid of him. But when we'll jump straight into the deep end. If you're another team, obviously teams are going to value his skill set, blah blah blah. But do you think why the fuck were the Cardinals willing to take a $22 million cap hit to drop this man? Like, are you scared to sign him, or do you just say D Hop's a fucking boss? I'm signing him.
Well, so this is my thing that I haven't gotten a clear answer on, and I always wait to talk to you because you just know this shit. Since they dumped him before, what, tomorrow,
Mhm.
they take the whole salary. So that means he's unrestricted free agency. He has no contract coming up. His contract is washed,
Yeah,
paid, and done.
yeah. So they do that so because he was worth what, like 31 or something like that. They if they cut him, they only owe 22 towards the cap. They owe him his full money, but the cap hit is only 22. So it's almost like they traded him for a $22 million player, essentially. But yeah,
Okay.
he gets to walk free. He gets to do whatever the fuck he wants, and he got paid. So
All right. Yeah, that's nice. So yeah, that's the one thing you have to kind of be scared of, right? Knowing what we've seen in this league over the last, I'd say, 5 to 10 years, and the Michael Thomas is getting hurt, trying to make a comeback, staying hurt. The Odells looking really good in a Super Bowl and then getting hurt and not being able to play for a whole season after that. It's really hard to pay these receivers when you have these young guys coming into the league, the
mm,
Jay Jettas, the insert Kansas City, no name here. Like these guys that are able to come out and make $500,000-$600,000 a couple years. Maybe you get the high end draft picks like we've been getting this year, like the Zay Flowers, like all those. What was it? 4 in a row, fucking 8, 9, 10, 11, just wide receiver highest. So you can go and get these guys and draft them and pay them $2 million instead of having to go out and get DeAndre Hopkins for what? Probably going to have to pay him 15 on a 1 year,
At least,
1 year
yeah,
prove it deal. So there's not a lot of teams out there that are going to do it. I feel like that's why the Patriots are like the easy one because that's the team that does the 1 year contracts for these older guys, these prove it deals, and that's an organization that really gets you bought into what they want to do. And we all know that Bill will get him to take a $12 million contract
yeah,
when he won't do it anywhere else. So I feel like that's the obvious choice. But man, we have a huge um, kind of wide receiver room depth in this league right now.
yeah,
A lot of teams with a good wide receiver rooms. One of the best teams in the AFC, the Baltimore Ravens, that was their one knock. Now they have Zay Flowers, a rookie coming out who's fucking disgusting, and they have OBJ out there as well. So
right,
it like any team is going to be able to benefit by adding DeAndre Hopkins right now. And yeah, I mean, it comes up to who wants to pay the money, and that we see the Texans are a name that's kind of getting murmured around just because Nuke wants to be dumb and put
right,
crazy tweets out there that has to do with the Texans. Shit coming out saying the Jaguars are a dark horse to get them if any AFC South team does. It would probably be Jacksonville. Blah blah blah. So yeah, I'm excited to see where he goes. It's just at this point in his career, like I mean, yeah, he had Kyler and Colt uh, Holt more than Kyler, I feel like last year.
yeah,
But what kind of productivity are you going to get for 10, $15 million? I mean, I think we're giving Calvin Ridley 14, and in his own words, he's a 1,400 receiver on a broken foot. We
right.
haven't seen that from DeAndre Hopkins since pre-COVID.
Well, to your point with the quarterback stuff, like, can we is is time kind to receivers, I guess is the question, because when he had a good quarterback in Deshaun Watson, right? He was
Right.
able to ball and he had a shit ton of things. But even without that, a team that's signing him might not want him to be the number one. Like some of the guys he listed, like if he went to the Bills and there's Diggs and the UCF guy, Gabe Davis,
Yeah,
if
let's
you
go.
put D Hop in that room, he doesn't have to be a 2,000-yard receiver. He doesn't have to be some crazy guy. He just needs to be what Beckham was on the Rams, get you like 4 or 5 catches for 80 yards and a tutty, and you're good. And he could easily do that on one of these squads with a good quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. It's just, I mean, and he's not even like up there in age. Dude's 30 years old.
Yeah,
That's crazy. He's about to be 31. He was born in 92, so he's about to be 31. Um, so dude's not even that old. He's still got a good 2, 3 years left, in football terms. But I don't know, man. We'll see. Because even Devontae Adams was able to do something with a bench quarterback.
mm,
I'm pretty.
true.
Didn't he make the Pro Bowl, last year? But everybody's
I
making the
don't count
fucking
Pro
Pro
Bowl
Bowl.
anymore, man. Pro Bowl's
Yeah,
fucking
but
useless.
still, if these receivers are going to be productive, they can be productive with anybody. I feel like, and we're used to these receivers making quarterbacks look good, and it seems like at least in the media standpoint, it's kind of gotten flipped, and
Yeah,
it's is this wide receiver going to be able to play with a quarterback? What quarterback type does he need? Nah, if you got a quarterback that can ball, you're going to have these receivers making them look even better if they're
right.
really good receivers, and hopefully we get back to that day and age. But I don't know, man. These defenses, these defensive backs, they're
Mm,
different nowadays. They're not all big, clumsy 6'2" guys. No, they got 5'9" cornerbacks who are fucking all pros every year.
yeah.
That kid in Texas, the Texans, he's fucking nasty. And I think he's like 5'10", 5'9", 5'10". But
Athleticism really starts to trump that, which we talk about with basketball drafts all the time, right? Like when you're signing like the Greg Odens over Kevin Durant, you're like, why
yeah,
just go with size? Like eventually skill matters, skill, athleticism. And in football, especially in the cornerback specifically position, that height doesn't matter as much. If he's got the ability to close out and he can get his head turned and find the ball fast, it doesn't matter how tall he is.
Yeah, and in today's age of football, it takes a lot more than one person to be able to just totally rip apart a defense through the air, unless your name's Travis Kelce. But we can all argue, what would Travis Kelce be able to do without Andy Reid? What would
And
he be able to
Patrick
do without Pat
Mahomes.
Mahomes? Even if you
Yeah,
have Pat, like, what are you going to be able to do with a offensive mind who can't get you open? Like, the shit that Andy Reid's able to do, you see people try to mimic it all the time. It
hmm
doesn't work. You saw the Eagles try to do the same shit we did against the Chiefs. And it doesn't work all the time. It might lead into interceptions and shit. But it happens. Like, but it's just crazy, but you don't see that anymore. That's why Travis Kelce is so special. Like, we saw Tyreek go to the Miami, and he wasn't able to get as crazy open as he always would. Oh yeah, but he's doing 5 yards and then making everything else. Well, he's not doing that shit he was in Miami. He's getting those 15
exactly.
yard fucking weird lofts that Tua does nowadays and tries to get work separating himself. But that's the shit that I think about all the time. Like, is DeAndre Hopkins, 30 years old, worth paying 15 million now that the draft's already over? You've already
Right.
went through what you want for this team. The people that you're signing now are just pretty much special teamers and really guys that you think are going to help depth wise.
Right.
DeAndre Hopkins is not a depth guy. He's a wide receiver one, maybe a wide receiver two. So I don't, as a Jaguar fan, I'm not willing to pay the guy more than like 10 million
Yeah.
to push Zay Jones down my depth chart. Like,
Yeah.
and even then, like, I'm good. Like, I don't need to deal with all that shit.
Yeah, it's funny because you're the second person that I've talked to about this with a team that potentially could have wide receiver needs or did have in the offseason. And they seem fine. I talked to the president of our company who's a Chargers fan, and he's not just a stupid Chargers fan. He's like how I would say you are with the you, me, and Eddie all are with our teams. We know shit. We know a little bit. We know what we need. Um, and I asked him, I said, "Hey, Hopkins said he'd love to play with Herbert. What are you thinking? You think you're good?" And he's like, "I think we're honestly straight with Quentin Johnson, who we just drafted out of TCU. Like why pay a guy so much when obviously they have Eckler, they have uh whoever they have in the receiving core, a couple of people. And now he's like, let's be good with our young stud that we just drafted high up. Like, let's let him play." So the people that are in the know don't really need, like you said, to overpay Hopkins to drop people down the depth chart. I think he's going to be in the same vein that Odell was a couple years ago, where he's going to make it into late October, early November, Thanksgiving break, and somebody's going to get hurt. And then that's when they're going to go, "Oh, yeah, Hopkins is out there. Let's fucking go get him." And we'll be straight. Because that's the thing. If Stephon Diggs gets hurt in mid-October, then they can go, "Oh, let's go get Hopkins," because then he's a complete plug and play. But when you sign him, like you said, to a team now that all you're trying to find is special teams guys, it kind of messes stuff up. But if you can do a direct replacement with like a Stephon Diggs or another number one that might get hurt, sorry, Buffalo fans, he's the first one I'm thinking of. Then it would be a perfect plug-in, and maybe that's
Yeah.
where his fate lies.
But I think that's why you see these Texans and these Patriots getting all the marbles, is because they are teams that could definitely use a wide
Yeah,
receiver one, and there's not really any. Like, you see all these stats of best wide receiver duos in the league. They put up fucking 20 teams, over half the fucking league, of
yeah,
best wide receiver duo selections to choose from, because everybody doesn't just have one guy anymore
yeah,
to throw to, and it's crazy. Like, after the draft, after everything that went on in the offseason, now the Ravens have Odell and Zay Flowers, which could end up being fucking insane if
yeah,
Zay does anything he was able to do in college. And the same thing with the Chargers. You have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and now you have Quentin coming in and just to destroy the middle of the field. You don't need Nuke to go and just sit there and do fucking 10 ends, 10 hooks. Like, you have Mike and Keenan doing everything Nuke's really good at, and you're
yeah,
not going to take away from them two, and you're damn sure not going to pay a guy $12 million, 15 plus, to do that. Like, it's
yeah.
just, it doesn't make any sense. And I think the Cardinals knew what they were doing, in the sense of not making a trade, even if they couldn't get a trade done, not taking nothing, and really fucking everybody else over at the end of the day.
And really fucking over Hopkins too, which is
Yeah.
kind of the funny part. I mean, I guess
Which,
he got paid, so whatever.
hey, that's not part of the new regime. It's not their fault.
True.
So
All
I
right,
mean,
so
I
let's.
think that's a little less salty on both ends. Like,
Yeah,
hey, listen,
that's
we
true.
wish you the best, but we just got here. We don't pew 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 shots. We don't see you part of that. You
Right.
gotta go.
True. That's true. I mean, they're still gonna suck, so he probably is happy to be gone anyway. So let's move on to basketball now. We got some headlines before we get to the actual games,
Play
and it
best.
it it rolls around coaching. So you're gonna have to fill in any that I missed, but I I believe it started with Nick Nurse heading to Philadelphia. Um, that's super cool. So far, my Phoenix prediction hasn't been officially established yet, but I'm holding on to it. We're hiring young, so just keep waiting on that, I guess. But Nurse to Philadelphia. So there were a couple people that we said last week, it's the teams that are right on the championship that need to hire this man, right? So we were talking
Yeah,
about the Bucks, the 76ers were one of the teams. Maybe some other teams would have opened up right after this playoffs, like the Celtics. We don't know if they'll have a open coaching position, but he went ahead and he signed for the 76ers. Um, how do you like this fit for Nurse and for the 76ers?
I love it. This it's crazy. Like the team that Nick Nurse pretty much became famous against
Yeah,
uh
that's true.
is the
Because of
76ers.
Kawhi.
So yeah, it's but yeah, he was the coach. He called the play. The play worked and it hit the fucking rim 5
Yeah,
times
the
in
play was
doing
give the ball
so.
to my best player and let him do something.
And go just run up the sideline and just fucking let that bitch go.
He's
Just
that
go
bitch.
towards the hit a corner route, and as you're going to hit your tippy toes onto the line, throw that bitch up. But but no, it's crazy. It comes full circle, and yeah, I think it's a match made in heaven. He has legit everything he had in Philly, or I mean in
In
Toronto that
Toronto.
he has in
Yeah.
Philly. He has the big superstar. He has great depth, and he has a lot of backcourt rotation guys that he can just plug in and go. And I think with this might be able to keep James Harden
Mm.
in Philly. Like it could happen. Nick Nurse is a really good coach, and he's a coach that guys like to play for and really enjoy playing with. And so I think that definitely was a thought process and them trying to get him and keeping James because what he's able to do with these older cats like he was able to do with Kyle Lowry. He's nothing but just a big set of buns nowadays in Miami. But he
Hey, he
doesn't
had
do
a really
shit
good
else.
what game 5 or 6. One of those.
Yeah,
He was playing good.
he's just rough now. He looks like me on the court trying to get the dribble, can't get to it and
Yep.
shit.
Yep.
But but yeah, I think that'll help in being able to kind of keep James. But if not, everybody and their mom in the free agency market will be down as fuck to go play in Philly, but it's already a destination spot. But also be able to go play with Nick Nurse, who you have to imagine is pretty fucking hungry. I think COVID fucked up the memory of the Nick Nurse that we know and
Mm.
love. But this guy is a monster in the media press conferences. He's a monster in the in-game interviews. Like he's just a fucking monster. He's hungry. He's an addict to the game, and I think that they're going to be able to get some big names going in there. And yeah, I think Philly has to be the odds-in favorite to get out of the East next season. Right now,
Mm.
with nothing going on, not knowing what's going to happen, that's fucking huge. And we've seen lately, like Joel is very much coachable. He's a guy who's down to do whatever is needed to be done. He's not a guy who has to get 40. He has to put up 25 shots. He has to get this. He'll do whatever it takes to win. And yeah, I think they're set up for a lot of success there.
Yeah, I agree with you. And to your Nurse point with what he had in Toronto, when you match it up with Philly, I agree with you. It's perfect, and it's not because of like the superstar, not because of even James Harden, who I think is overrated, but is still a good player. It's the guys that are ranked like 30 to 70 in the league if you just rank them. That's what he had in Toronto. That's what he was able to pull out. The Pascal Siakams, the OG Ananobis, Fred VanVleets. Those guys, he was able to make the best version of themselves, the same way that Spoelstra does with undrafted players. That's what he's going to have in Philly with those guys, the Maxis and others. He's going to be able to make them 5 ranks better than what they are. And like that could be enough to just push this team over. So I agree with you in that the nurse effect is going to be making those mid-tier people lower top tier, and that's huge because Embiid's going to be Embiid. He's gonna be fine. He's going to be an MVP
Yeah, but
candidate.
he's
It's what
going
he can do with other
from
people.
he's going from a lunatic coach who is stuck in the 80s, and before that a fucking
Brett Brown, baby.
coked out coach who doesn't know where he is half the time probably, to go into a legit fucking
Yeah,
dog
yeah,
in the basketball world. Like, I think he's another guy who can go up another 5 levels if you could imagine that happening.
mm,
But like, I really think that was a good signing. Unfortunately, he picked them over the Suns, which is good to hear. Kind of as, I mean, I'm a Suns advocate, I guess you could say. You're a Suns fan, but to hear that they actually tried and
yeah,
went out tooth for now to try to get him with the 76ers is really good to hear. But at that same point, that's why we're waiting on the young. I don't think Doc would have if Doc was going to
yeah.
happen,
He would have
it
been
would have
first.
happened.
Yeah,
Um, they wouldn't have been fighting. The report wouldn't have came out that he picked the Sixers over the Suns. So I think that's good news for the Suns. Now it's just trying to work out. All right, young buck, get it, young buck.
hey,
Like, this is your first time. Let's get you a contract that, will get you paid a little bit, but also like we got to figure out, because if you're not it, we have to be able to fucking David Blatch your ass and get Ty Lue in here and
yep.
not have to pay you 50 fucking million, because we don't want to do that 5-year contract that Cleveland did to where they fucked themselves on
Yeah.
another fucking
They're
bad
gonna
deal.
have to fill our assistant coaches with some real dogs because Monty's gonna take some people who we're about to talk about Monty, but he's gonna take some people with him. He's not gonna take Kevin Young. This is why I think the announcement's gonna come out like tomorrow or the next day, because otherwise Monty would take him with him to Detroit, right?
Yeah.
So we're about to announce it, I would assume. Maybe even later tonight. I mean, it's still early in Phoenix. So it's possible that it comes out real soon because he's not going to go with Monty. But then it's who do you fill it up with? Because we saw the Ime Udoka Celtics was filled with kind of like ins, and that's why Joe Maz got to be the coach after this. So I think we're gonna fill the coaching box with some real stud dudes. James Jones knows a lot of good fucking coaches. He's been around a long time. He knows some dudes. I think they're gonna fill their room with some really good people. And like you said, tell Young, say, hey, you you got your chance. We'll give you a little bit of a leash, but we also have 2 of the top 10 players in the league, so you better
Because
fucking win
aren't
right now.
coaches' contracts in the NBA, if I'm not mistaken, they're fully guaranteed. So if you sign a 5-year contract and get dumped in year 2, you get that 5-year $50 million, right?
I don't know about it. I really don't.
I'm pretty sure that's the way it works. Like, I'm
That's
pretty sure, and
crazy.
that's why the players started their whole thing back in the day. Like, hey, what the fuck? Coaches get to do it and
Hmm.
we don't.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't
But
know the
I'm
coaching
pretty
contracts.
sure. But yeah. So definitely trying to figure out the staffing issues. I think that's number one, and then figuring out like how much this kid's going to get paid. This first year coach is going to get paid. But yeah, it's got to be exciting to. You got to pretty much know, like, with all the wording going around, that it's not Doc, right?
Yeah,
And that's
no.
exciting.
I just think every open coaching job has to say like Doc's a possibility.
Yeah,
He's earned that, I guess, as a head coach. Like every team has to say, of course, we'll talk to him. Why not? Fuck it.
yeah.
So, but
But
no, he's
Chris
not a real
Paul,
possibility.
Phoenix, yeah, can't
We knew that
happen.
as soon as, yeah, like I said on like Chris Paul would not sign off on that. If Doc did get signed, the very next day you'd see a Chris Paul trade out. Like it just wouldn't even be a thing. Or he'd hold out and just be like, I'm DeAndre Ayton, this bitch. I ain't talking to him the whole offseason. Fuck him.
So
So
since you didn't get Nick Nurse, do you think you let go of Monty like a year too early, or it
no.
was just time?
No, so I think, and I'm gonna sound like a broken record. But I think we fucked up by signing DeAndre Ayton, is what I think.
Yeah.
Because DeAndre Ayton and Monty don't get along. They didn't get along. They didn't get along 2 years ago. They're not going to get along. So when we tied our money to DeAndre Ayton, we basically said, Monty, you're on a win or go home year right now, and he didn't win, so he's going home. And like that's we put our money on the player, and so the coach was the next one to go if it didn't work out. So um, I'm fine with getting rid of Monty Williams, but we had to because we have to get DeAndre Ayton to buy in. If we have to bring back Mike D'Antoni, just
Oh, that'd be
so
beautiful.
DeAndre Ayton can say, "Oh, I can be Amari 2.0. Let's fucking go." Whatever gets Amari and not
You'd have
Amari,
to trade
whatever.
CP3 though,
Yeah, that's true because he
because
can't run that
he's
much.
not running no 8-second offense.
But whatever
But could
gets
you imagine
DeAndre
that
Ayton bought
campaign?
in, because Booker's going to show up Monday through Friday. Well, I guess Monday through Sunday in basketball. Kevin Durant's going to show up every single day. DeAndre Ayton's not showing up. So as much as we need Booker to buy in because he's our best guy, we have to try to like finagle a situation to where Ayton goes, yeah, this was my decision. This was my guy. And he's happy to play.
Yeah,
So whatever gets him happy, and Monty wasn't going to do it. So it's fine. We could have won with Monty. I have no doubt in my mind we could have won with Monty, but he just couldn't get Ayton to buy in because Ayton's a little bitch. So now that we signed
should
Ayton, we
have
got to figure it
drafted
out.
Luca, bro.
We got to figure it out.
If you would have
But
drafted Luca, you would never need a CP3. Luca, Book, fucking Kevin
it would have
Durant.
still been Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, those guys, because, oh, it would have been nice. It would have been nice.
Enter
Um,
Sarge. Have Sarge be the center. Who gives a fuck? Fucking win
we
by
would have,
10 every
like you
game.
said, we would have kept like a McGee or somebody like that. It would have been fucking nice.
Mm.
So speaking of Monty, let's move on to Monty. So this man just got the bag in Detroit. So for what it's worth, Detroit has money to throw around. They don't. They you have to spend money in this league. It's a rule. It's a literal rule. You have to spend money. And if you choose to do it on the coach, then you choose to do it on the coach. And that's what Detroit did. They said, we got a bunch of fucking rookie contracts. Let's just give the coach some money. My boy Monty, shout out to you. Got a bag. It's what, 4 years, 78 million? What is it? Something like that. So,
It's I want to say 6. It was a 6 year.
okay, yeah, 6 year,
$6.
78.5.
Yeah, it comes out to almost like 12 mil a year, or over 12 million a year, and then could like bump up over to 100 million with incentives. But feel like we're gonna come out, yeah, that man strong port dog, woo, or Koa, whoever you're talking to or looking
No,
at.
it's Bawanga. I'm watching the LAFC game.
Oh, let's go. They coming back, baby. I saw
They
2-0
just
at
scored
half,
in the
and
96th minute to go down 2-1, which
fuck.
we'll talk about soccer in a minute, but going down 2-1 on the road, I'm happy with.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure that one whatever fucking point. I don't fucking know.
That
But
one is gonna
anyways,
matter. But yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be over 100,000 with the incentives. But the incentives are probably going to be in the next 6 years. Like be fucking get to the play in and get on all this shit, which they could do. They got fucked in the draft this year, lottery
Mm,
wise, but that's going to hurt a little bit. But also, they got a shout out. I forget what team it was to let them get Jaden Ivey. Um,
exactly. The
so they
Kings, I
have.
think, with Keegan Murray.
Yes, you're right. So they have a great fucking backcourt, a decent front court, and oh yeah, I think the average age is like 22 years old for that team. So he's got a lot of room to work with. And if you don't know anything about Monty, this boy has a squad full of guys that he can mold into fucking dogs. And I think he's excited. I think they're excited. And we heard last week that Detroit was trying to go after Monty and he wasn't really down. Well, money talks, bullshit walks, and
Yep.
he's in Detroit. We'll see for how long. They're still doing the details. It's officially unofficial as we
Right.
record this podcast, but so I'm sure tomorrow will be official. We'll see all the details and stuff. But yeah, to for him to be the highest paid coach of all time, that definitely means something for the coach he is, and also what Detroit thinks that he can do. And I agree. I think that the foundation that they're setting player wise, he's the perfect coach. even if he's not the coach in 5 years that
Right.
gets them there, like if he is the Mark Jackson, he's
Yeah.
the perfect Mark Jackson for that organization.
And that's what we said last week, right? Like it was hard to talk because it almost sounded like we were talking badly of Monty, but when Phoenix got rid of him, we both said Monty is a preparer coach. He's not a make a halftime decision in game 7 of the NBA finals. That's not the type of coach he is. He's a preparing coach. So why not stick him with a team of 15 under 25 guys that are like, we're all going to be all NBA one day, just fucking take us where we need to go, and let him guide those kids. I agree with you. This is the perfect situation for him. The only other situation that would have been better was the Spurs, but Pop isn't going anywhere. So might as well go to Detroit. I think that's the next best one. Um, I honestly don't believe that if I could take any of the top 5 teams in the draft, I think Detroit would be number 1. I mean maybe Portland because they have Dame, but I don't think I'd take Charlotte. I don't think I would take Portland. Like I said, Spurs are probably number 1, but Pop's not going anywhere. So Detroit is the next best thing, and it fits his coaching style perfectly. He's going to be able to potentially make the playoffs in his first year just out of the sheer fact that the East is so weak. He should be in a play-in game at the very least and just have to win a
I don't
couple in a
know.
row.
Portland would be nice. Anthony Simmons, fucking Dame, fucking what's his name? Brandon Miller. Like
Yeah.
those are 3 guys that he would be able to really coagulate
Yeah,
and
but Dame isn't gonna need
maybe find that
coaching
hump.
anymore. Like he's
No, but definitely a new, like they need a new rejuvenation. They need a new CJ and Dame, and a third person, and Brandon Miller would be amazing. And Monty would
yeah.
definitely be able to get those 3 to work well with each other, and then have everybody else bought in. And then everybody else is the front court guys who we all know what Monty wants done in front court as to why he doesn't fucking like Aiton that much. I keep touching this so much tonight. But so like it's if his biggest non-worry is front court, that's a fucking match made in heaven with Monty, and that's why I think Detroit is such a beautiful thing. Because right now he doesn't have to worry about it; he'll find his guy, and I think that's the best thing for him. And I think that's would be great for the Trailblazers because they do still have. Fuck, I got it right once. I don't think I'm gonna get Nurkic,
Yeah,
right?
that's the one on their team, I
Go,
think.
let's go. Because Vucevic was last week on Chicago.
All right.
Nurkic this week with Portland. Let's fucking go. But that's like either way I think would be great. But I think Portland right now, which one could he win a championship with the soonest? I think
Yeah,
Portland.
best
But
matchup.
the best one for Monty's legacy, definitely Detroit. Because if he can turn that around and get Detroit back to early thousands Detroit basketball, that would be. Could you imagine? Like that place used to be scary to go to in the playoffs. If they can get back
Mm.
there, that place is wild. They will fight your players if you come
Don't fight
into
your
their
fans. Yeah.
crowd, dog.
Oh, the fans will fight the players. Yeah, that's
Yeah, they will go
legit.
onto the court and
Get fucking sent to the shadow realm. Um, But so I'm about to make a bold prediction that 33 minutes into this podcast will long be forgotten because nobody actually listens to this podcast, especially not aggregated to put on YouTube or anything like that. But I'm
Shout
making
out,
a
Joe.
bold prediction that the Detroit Pistons are going to have Brandon Miller. That's what I'm saying. So what's going to happen is they're going to trade James Wiseman and Killian Hayes to the Charlotte Hornets to jump them because they're going to sit here and tell Charlotte, they're going to go, listen to me. Portland doesn't want Scoot. They have Damian Lillard. They have Anthony Simons. We're taking Brandon Miller. I'm telling you, don't worry. Just trade with us. We'll take Brandon Miller. Portland is not going to take Scoot. You get him at 4, plus these 2 other players. And Charlotte's going to pull the trigger, get 2 players, get a draft pick, whatever. And the Detroit Pistons will have Brandon Miller. And Monty's about to run the East. Not run the East, but run the bad people in the East and make it to 10 spot.
That'd be dope.
Bold prediction. It's ready.
That'd be dope. But I doubt it.
You can doubt all you want. It's gonna happen.
Damn, bro, that was kind of Listen to me.
It's like the girl in Waterboy. That ain't a prediction. That's what it's gonna be, or whatever she says.
Oh yeah, she did say some shit like that.
Yeah, when she like said what the
I
score was
wasn't
gonna
just
be.
saying it.
That's what it's
Watch.
gonna be, and that's exactly what it turns out to be. Because Vicky Downcourt knows how to predict football.
Oh, Vicky.
It's been a long time since I watched that.
Her and what was it? Wendy Peppercorn.
Mm,
Them
the
two girls
lifeguard from
growing
Sandlot.
up. Damn right.
Yeah.
Between that blonde and that dark-haired little goth
Yo,
wonder,
Vicky had she turned me goth for
and
a
that bitch.
solid little bit.
Excuse me, that lovely woman said that bitch. Liked him? Like the Wonder Boy?
The
I
Waterboy, we all have a
definitely had a
chance.
chance.
And that's why you liked
Exactly.
Wendy too, huh? Because Squint's got some.
Oh man, I was on Squints' level. I think fucking Waterboy was definitely a tier above me, just at pure athleticism.
Because he was good at a sport.
He's got me. I was okay at everything. I was the fat kid who could hold his own. Wasn't first pick, damn sure wasn't the last one, but also was the fat kid with braces
So you would have
and
been the
fucking zits
catcher though,
everywhere.
wouldn't you? You would have been the orange-haired catcher kid
Oh
in the Sandlot.
nah, probably, yeah.
Or or not the second little
Nah,
kid.
I would have been the fat kid with the s'mores.
Yeah, that's who you would have been. I don't know who I
Yeah,
would have been. I would have been that fucking shortstop kid,
yeah.
the like Mexican kid or whatever he was.
No, you would have been
Not Benny, not Benny. That I'm not him.
no, the redhead dude, like the taller redhead
The
kid.
tall one, Timmy
Yeah,
and
yes,
Tommy or whatever their names
yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe that's just kind of like there. He's good, but he's not gonna do anything.
yeah,
He's not good or bad. He just kind of keeps you going.
yeah.
Maybe,
Has the arrogant remarks.
maybe. I just need the little Tommy kid to
Or he could be
repeat
yeah,
everything I
yeah.
say. I think I could be or whatever his name was, the kid, but um he was pretty athletic. I don't know. I mean, I was kind of athletic in the right sport, not in baseball, but in the right sport I can handle myself.
Yeah.
Um
See,
all
remember
right.
that one time when I showed up for like I think it was your rec league game, and I was sitting there dribbling the soccer ball, and your dude's like, "What the fuck? Why isn't he in?" You're like, "That's all he can do. Like that's it. Like he can juggle soccer balls. Like I can hold my own, and I can find things to do in each sport. I'm just not the best at anything.
Yo,
Not
that
great
team
at
was
that
fucking
at all."
sick. If Keystone wouldn't have cheated, we would have been like undefeated every single year. It was so crazy how good. It's so crazy because how good our travel team was with how bad our high school
High
team
school
was.
team,
And it
yeah.
was the exact same fucking kids.
Yeah.
It just didn't have Coach Dom. Shout out to Coach Dom.
Yeah.
He kept us going. He had the girls team doing things in high school.
Yeah.
All right, so
They just
let's
had to
get
get
to
that
the
pretty fucker who came from some private college and shit.
who?
The coach. Or was that after you
Oh,
graduated?
Braun, Coach. Fuck him, dude.
Yeah. Okay, that
Fuck him.
was your coach.
He was the one that came. So he came into the locker room. A little inside baseball here. He came into our locker room after like the first practice or second practice, and I think it was a motivation tactic, but it wasn't played out correctly. He said, "None of you guys have the skill to play in college except Jackson Garrett," and we all looked and said,
What?
"Jackson's not even that fucking good at soccer, bro." Like Jackson was what Seal was just talking about, where he could juggle a ball, he could do these cool fucking tricks, but like actual soccer, he wasn't that good at. All he did was smoke weed and like do
Uh,
shit on the side.
he was like a sophomore at that point.
Yeah, he was a sophomore. So he was a sophomore. He made the varsity team. Ooh, good for him. Because of his ball skills. He had fucking great ball skills. But then coach came in and said that, and we all literally looked at all of us. And Clay said, Clay, like, no offense to Jason, he was my best friend. Clay was the best soccer player we had, all around soccer player.
Yeah.
And Clay looked up and he goes, "Did you forget we have Jason Cannon on this team?" And coach was like, "Jason's a good scorer, but Jackson's a good soccer player." And we were like, "All right, get the fuck out of here, coach."
You're an
Fuck you, bro.
idiot. Yeah. Jason did just have he was faster than everybody and
Yeah,
just had that crazy enough ability
he
to
knew where to
like
be.
Yeah, and knew where at what point, like he just knew what touch to have. He
Yeah.
would just run to a spot, see ball, know where the fucking goal is, and just bum,
Yeah. But
one
Clay was
touch
the best
goners.
top to bottom soccer player that I
Yeah.
had played with as a kid. But anyway, so let's get to the NBA games that are being played. And we already talked about the sweep of the Lakers, but then um,
Ah,
it was 3-0. It was 3-0 Miami whenever we last talked. It ended up getting to game 7. And games 4 and 5 they were predictable. We figured that Boston would fight in game 4. We figured that they could win in Boston. But I thought game 6 was going to be Miami's. And it looked more like it was going to be Boston's, right? And then Boston fucking folded it away. Miami came fighting all the way back. And then one of the best endings that is going to be forgotten because it didn't matter ultimately in the end of a basketball game happened, and it was really cool. It was really fun, and shout out to Marcus Smart because I thought that fucking three went in. That
yeah.
was the right shot. It was fucking perfect, and then Derek White was there, and it led me to think that basketball is fucking stupid in the way that they do end games because there's no way that timekeeper started the time in the right spot because that was more than 3 seconds. But
Yeah,
hey,
and
whatever.
and that's goes into the home court advantage,
Mm,
right? Like the game operator, the clock operator is a guy like anybody that's ever been to a high school basketball game knows that the kids sit there with that big ass little box and
yep.
it has like 5 buttons on this side, like 5 buttons on that side, and two right here. Well, they're probably a little more complicated than those ones that are bought by the
Right.
public school system, but that it's the same thing. A person with a box in front of them that they press buttons on to start, stop, reset the clock, and probably be able to put numbers in to fix the time and all that shit faster than going up and down like we have to do on the high
Yep.
school box and all that stuff. Bro, remember doing the girl soccer games? And I'd sit there and be like, "Oh, number 11, where'd the goal?" You're like, "Bro, shut up." But
Yep.
yeah, great times. But yeah, so it's like that, but as a person, we knew something like that was already going to happen. Like Miami faithful knew, oh, great, fuck, 2.3 seconds, plenty of time. Probably going to end up being 3 seconds with the home court clock operator. And then the ref comes out and says the contact happened at 3 seconds, which there's no I see 2.7, 2.8.
2.7 is what it should have been, I
Yeah.
think.
3 seconds, suck my dick from the back. You're Scott Foster and the shit out of this right now. and and yeah, it was crazy. It was everything that the Celtics wanted to happen. They wanted to be able to have Marcus Smart in that area to be able to take that shot if they needed to. They wanted Devin White to take the pass out. So if needed to, he can get the ball back if Jason Tatum can't get to it. And also at the same time, hopefully in that action, they're able to get one of them to Marcus Smart or Devin White
Right.
freed up with the double on Jason Tatum. And that's pretty much what happened. Strus came just a hair too much over and then looked at the shot from Marcus Smart just a second too late and let Devin White get around him to be able to put that tip in. And that comes down to discipline. Comes down to also the coach's game call,
Yeah.
the play call at that point in time to have all that stuff happening. Yeah, shout out to the Celtics for being able to get that done. The only other shot that's ever happened like that in NBA playoff history was the Michael Jordan shot against the Cavaliers back in what 96,
Mm.
97, 98. And the only reason that is a crazy thing is because game 7 Cavs were about to fucking end the Chicago's great run and they ended up winning another fucking chip off of it.
I
That's
was
the reason
thinking
that was so great.
I was thinking the Ray Allen shot because
No, like
it
historically with so they ended up going to overtime, I think,
mm,
in that game. This was a game that they were down and won with a less than a second left when the shot went off.
yeah,
So
because Ray Allen's shot
that
was
might be it
bigger.
too, because they still were able to get another shot off after that
Yeah.
maybe, or maybe it went to overtime. But with the clock going
Yeah.
zero, it
I
was
think
under a
Ray
second
Allen's had
left.
like a little bit of time left on the clock after
Yeah,
he hit it.
but the only other shot that has ever happened like that
Mm,
statistically in NBA playoff history was the Michael Jordan shot over the
yeah.
Cavs.
The reason I think of the Ray Allen shot was because the Spurs they had won the championship. The fucking Heat missed the shot that they needed to miss. The Spurs won the championship, and the ball just finds its way to Ray Allen, and he nails it.
Yeah.
And
And
then
that was
Game
the
7
same
was history.
that
But
was the same exact spot in the same fucking arena that Jimmy Butler got those three free throws
yeah,
on,
yeah. Yeah, so
which
it
was
was
crazy.
really cool to see. But then Game 7 happened,
I
and
gotta
Game
grab this
7
other beer. We're only talking about fucking game 7 right now.
and Game 7 was a little more anticlimactic. I mean, the Heat came out and the Heat looked like the Heat. It's so crazy, and I know that they believe it, but you see them in the press conferences, and it's kind of like a fake it till you make it kind of thing. Spoelstra's talking shit, saying, "Hey, we haven't made it easy on ourselves this entire time." Butler says, "I guarantee you, we're going to win. We only need to win one." He said that in after like the Game 4 loss. He said, "I guarantee you we're going to win. We just have to win one. It's going to happen." Um, Everybody's downplaying the pressure that is there in Miami, but they played as if there was no pressure. And it's crazy because we know that the basketball awards are media driven,
Yeah.
but there is no doubt in my mind that Caleb Martin was the player of that series. It
Oh,
wasn't even
absolutely.
close.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jimmy has the leadership. Jimmy does the things. Jimmy plays really good defense. He does all these things. I get it. But without Caleb Martin, they are not in the NBA Finals right now. Like, I'm sorry, Jimmy, but you didn't have your best series. You just
Absolutely.
didn't. He's the best player on their team, but he was not the best player in that series. That was Caleb Martin. So,
He wasn't even
and
the
I think
second
Jimmy
best
would tell
player.
you
That
the
was
same
George.
fucking thing.
That was Vincent. What is it, George
Yeah,
Vincent?
I think Jimmy would have told you the same thing. He would have said, "No, this is Caleb Martin's," but he just didn't even want to touch the trophy at all, which was pretty
I'll touch
funny.
the next one.
Yeah, you ain't gonna touch
But
shit, but
yeah,
whatever.
and I think like we all like how they downplayed it. Eric Spoelstra coming out after Game 6, like let's play 48 minutes right now. Like we are ready to go right now, but we'll do it in 48 hours in Boston.
Yep.
No pressure, just an immense amount of want, immense amount of hunger, and I think that's all on Jimmy and Eric Spoelstra, Pat Riley, those three. That's on them. And if you have like you have Carlos, right? Like if you have a guy that you know uh, can do whatever that team needs to get it done. And there's no fear in his eyes. Like y'all go uncomfortable. Last time we played this team, we lost by 20. You see Carlos just looking at you. I'm not worried, y'all. We got this. You're not really going to have any pressure.
Yeah.
That pressure is going to leave you. Like it happens. It happens to us all the time. And when you have a guy like Jimmy who's on crack with that fucking confidence, there's nobody, no Duncan Robinson fucking I can't hear you to the to the crowd in game 7. Like the confidence just oozes. And I honestly don't think there was any pressure top to bottom on that team. And if there was, you probably weren't playing. That's probably why Strus didn't play big minutes in 5 and 6,
Yeah.
because he was probably felt a little bit of anxiety or something. Probably why Kevin Love didn't get big minutes, because we all know about his mental health. That's jokes. I love you. I miss you, but also go fuck yourself. No, I'm kidding. You're my guy. But like there's no pressure. Jimmy's sitting there laughing after the first loss, not worried. Second loss, see him still smiling with fucking 10 seconds left in the game when they're down fucking 13. Game 6, not worried, having to go back to Boston. Like, are you fucking psycho, bro? No, he knows what his team needs to do to get it done, and knew that he had 4 chances to get it done one more time. And he liked those odds. It didn't matter to him that it happened in game 6 or game 4 or
Yeah.
game 7. He liked those odds and knew it was going to happen. And when your top dog knows it's going to happen, when you have your coach going out there like he just hit a fucking meth pipe, talking about we're ready to do 48 minutes right now. Like there's no pressure whatsoever. And then you have this team in Boston who has a rookie coach, who has a team who is trying to do it for the second year in a row to go and get over the hump that they haven't been able to get over. They still are having the 2018 run
Mm.
loom over them, 2020 bubble not being able to get it done, and they're looming over them. Like a lot of pressure on that Boston side, and nobody over there is a Jimmy Butler, is an Eric
Yeah.
Spoelstra, has a Pat Riley in that building. They just don't. Brad Stevens isn't it. He, for some reason, is just there. Like
Yeah.
he's Timmy and Tommy or whatever the fuck. He's just there. He doesn't have anybody repeating after him. It sucks, but that's just the way it is there. And maybe that's the savior for that organization is to come back down to
He
coaching.
should, for sure.
But immense amount of pressure, and we saw it from everybody. From Al Horford, he was losing his cool there in that third quarter. It was crazy to see from all aspects. Marcus Smart let the best get at him. Jaylen Brown, we don't even have to talk about that. The rest of the world already has. Like, it was absolutely abysmal. It was insane. And thank God Jason Tatum wore his Game 6 dressery on Game 6 and saved the Kevin Garnett for Game 7. Because if you show up wearing that shit that fucking Kobe Bryant's wife probably made for herself
Yeah.
and drop
like
that
Devin
would have
White
been
was the
bad.
only player that showed up for Game 7. So big shout out to Devin White. He earned himself some money. He's going to find something in this season. But
Stephen A. Smith's bloodline runs strong. His just hairline is the same, and the way Chuck, and then we're making fun of him back at
that was so ridiculous.
Was it this year or last year? I forget what, but calling him Stephen A. Smith and shit.
Yeah,
it was against the Hawks. So
that was this year in
this year, yeah,
or whatever.
No.
Or the first round.
Yeah.
So, what was I gonna say? Fuck.
Celtics don't have anybody like that.
Well, no, you fucking. I wasn't going to talk about it yet, but you said we don't have to talk about Jaylen Brown, and all I was thinking about was we have to fucking talk about Jaylen Brown because he's now going to be owed like $90 million by somebody. So
by somebody. So you don't think he's a Celtic?
I think he is because if you're Boston, right? There's two camps. There's the camp that says we can't win right now with this core. We've proven since 2018 we can't win with this core unit. But then there's the flip side of that saying, what do you pay these players for? A chance. This unit has had 4 chances in the last 5 years. How do you give that up? And so it's like, what camp are you at? Because somebody's going to offer him the 5 years, 98 or whatever the fuck he's going to be able to get since he made the All-NBA team. The Celtics have to do that, right? Because while it looks tough and he can't dribble, he does some stupid ass shit. He probably doesn't even like basketball that much. He's a super smart guy. He's like an engineering major. He likes basketball, obviously, but like he has other shit he could do. But who else are you going to go find if you get rid of this man? Like you have the chance. So I'm honestly on the fence. I don't know. If it were me, I'd say, listen, we've made it to the finals a couple times. Like, let's try. Like these two guys are good enough. We just have to figure it out.
You have to find more offense than Robert Williams and Al Horford down in the front court. Like those two combined, one, they're not on the court together, and if they are, it's not ever good defensively.
I liked Robert Williams. I mean, on defense, he's
defensively. Robert Williams is immaculate. At the start of the season, before his injury, he looked like he was going to be able to change it on the offensive end and maybe average 15 points a game, which for him would be fucking
awesome,
great jump and very respectable numbers for that team. And if they are able to find somebody like that, then they really do have a big chance. And I think that's their Achilles heel. Last year in the fucking finals, they weren't able to put up with Steph Curry because Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown can't score enough when you have guys like Draymond being able to get 15 rebounds, also being able to get 12 assists, and your big guy in Robert Williams can get you 15 rebounds and 7 points and 2 blocks. Like that, at the end of the day, isn't going to get it done in 2023 basketball. 1992, he will probably be an MVP of the fucking league. But it's just not going to get it done in today's basketball. And I think that's the decision they have to make. What big guy are they going to go out and get that can put up 15 points, 10 boards, and help that team go and get a chip? Because until they do that, they're fucked.
Yeah, if he could average 15 and 12 with like 2.5 blocks a game for the season, they'd be set. They'd just be like, you know what, we got our guy. That's fine. But yeah, like he's a liability on offense. You can't even pass the ball to him. He's not able to do anything. So I agree with you there. But I think you have to keep Tatum and Brown together just for the sheer fact that I honestly don't know who they'd fill it with. And Tatum is obviously good. You got to use what you can there. And I don't know if you can upgrade Brown, so you might as well sign him. And if you're going to try to upgrade him on trade, I guess. Maybe for Dame Lillard. Who knows? No, he doesn't want to leave Portland. So moving forward to the finals, did you see what Spoelstra said about the altitude?
He hasn't been that high since the 90s.
No, this man was ready. He had this bitch scripted. He was like, I know they're gonna ask me about the altitude.
Did you
Hell
know
yeah.
what they did you know real quick, did you know where their plane was leaving Boston to?
Denver. Yeah, I saw.
Before the
They
game.
bought tickets to Denver before the game.
And
Like the day before. Yeah.
in his post game talking, and like the after thing with the t-shirts and all that stuff, he was saying we're gonna enjoy it for now. He's like, but right when we get on that flight to Denver tonight, then or tomorrow, then we're gonna start. And I was like, and it just kind of slipped everybody. I was like, this nigga going back to Miami tonight? What do you mean going over to Denver tomorrow? Like y'all gonna sleep here and then go to Denver? Or are you going to Miami now and then go to Denver? Like, nah, they were ready, bro. They had no plans of going back to
Yeah.
Miami for any reason
Even if they got
whatsoever.
eliminated, they were heading to Denver to
Hey,
fucking
bro, mile
go
high, baby.
skiing.
Let's go watch game one, bitch. We should have been here. Might as well see what we missing.
No, so he was asked if playing at the altitude is going to be a problem or whatever, and he was like, he said, first of all, he did the typical. He goes, "We'll play on Mount Everest if you want us to. We don't fucking care. We'll play everywhere." But then he said, "The altitude is their home court advantage. We have a home court advantage too. They got to come into Miami. We can just turn the AC off and let's see what happens to their legs." That
Oh
was his
shit.
response. I was like, he knows because he fucking coached cramping ass LeBron with no AC. He knows what it does.
Well, that'd be
But
dope.
that'd be hilarious if they turned off the AC and said, "Let's fucking go. Let's do what you
Turn that
can
bitch
do."
up to 80 or at least. With
Yeah,
all those people, you ain't even gotta turn it off. Be like, yo, go check the vents. They're fucking blowing. I don't know what's going on.
right. That's what the
That
Spurs did to LeBron and it fucking worked. So gotta do what you gotta do. But in between the lines, during the 48 minutes, listen, we've counted out Miami for 2.5 straight series now. I guess nobody really counted them out against the Knicks, but
I didn't count them out
um,
against the Celtics.
that's true. You thought they were going to sweep, so you're close. But do they have a real chance against Denver? Like,
Bro,
it's hard to say because athletically they don't. We know they don't, but they have all the it shit, right? Like they
yeah.
have it all.
We've had a week to think about this. We kind of touched on it last week.
Mm.
It's Jamal Murray, the Joker, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr. against Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Like, we can't say and Max Strus and George Greg, whatever the fuck is Vincent is his last name, Duncan Robinson. Like, we can't say these guys. We can say Tyler Hero, but we'll see what he's able to do coming off with this rust. We can't say Vic. We could if he wasn't injured. We can say Kevin Love, but he doesn't play a lot. Like, this team, it just, we don't fucking know. We know what they do. We know what they do on the court, but it's not what the Nuggets have done, what they've been able to
Mm.
do. And also the detriment of them was a Jamal Murray injury. And Mike Malone said, bro, you're not going anywhere. We're going to rehabilitate you. Like, you're going to be able to come back and show your worth. And they're doing the damn thing. This is what they always wanted to do. They got fucked over by Jamal's injury. And here they are 2.5 years later now in the NBA Finals. And it's hard for anybody, even without a basketball brain, to just look at headlines.
Mm.
It's hard to go against a guy who could have won the MVP the last 3 years. It's hard to go against a guy who was the shit, blew out his fucking whole leg, and is back to being the shit again. And it's also hard to look over a coach who loses his voice every fucking game because he's always coaching, he's always
Yeah.
changing it up, he's always trying to fix stuff, always trying to find the edge. Like, it's hard to go against that team. But we have an eighth seed who was in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, who was in the NBA Finals 3 years ago, and has a guy in Jimmy Butler who is a fucking dog. They have a dude in Kevin Love whose experience has only been in the finals. If he's in the playoffs, he gets to the finals. They have an exec in Pat Riley. They have a coach in Eric Spoelstra. It's hard to bet. It's statistically hard to bet against those guys. It really is. And you have to say Nuggets in 6 just to give yourself some
Mm.
leeway. But Heat in 6, Heat in 7 isn't a bad bet either. It's not a risky bet. It's it's a cautious one still, but it's still possible. Like we can still see it happening. If we wake up in 2 weeks, right, and the Heat are the world champions, the only thing that would surprise me is if it happened in 4 or 5. That's the only thing that I would be surprised with.
The one thing that I will say is if you believe that the Heat could win, not even necessarily that if you believe the Heat will win, if you believe the Heat can win, go put some money on the Heat to win game 1 because they've done it every fucking series.
Yeah.
The rest is going to be real. Like, listen, rest versus rust, it's an argument. I believe in both. I want my injuries healed, but I also wish I was playing. So I believe in both. And if the Heat are going to win this series, they have to win a game in Denver. They have to. It's scientifically proven, mathematically proven.
Yeah.
Game 1 would be the one to do it. They're going to jump out. They're going to do that. So if you even believe they can win, if you think it's in the realm of possibility, then game 1 is their one that they're going to take. So just a little bit of betting advice. But what's your prediction for the actual who and how many? What do you got?
Heat in 6.
Heat in 6.
I
I
just
am about to
I
go on
don't
another
know,
bold
bro.
prediction, man.
If Bruce Brown first year, Michael Porter Jr. finally getting like rotation minutes. Like he's been getting 20, 25 minutes for a big chunk of the year. Finally not worried about injuries, finally getting in his legs into it, getting rotational minutes. Can we rely on him to stay there? Can we rely on Aaron Gordon not to be the Aaron Gordon the last 8 years? Like he's finally being a good Aaron Gordon, but can we rely on this? Is this going to be an Orlando Magic Aaron Gordon? We don't know. All we know is Jamal Murray and Joker are going to have a great high pick and roll game. We know that's going to happen. We know Joker's going to go 13 for 15. We know he's going to have 10 rebounds in the first quarter against Bam. Everything else is
We
in up.
know that the Heat will only run the zone for about a minute and a
Oh,
half,
that's
and when
fucked.
when the
Yeah.
Joker has like 5 assists in a minute, they're gonna go, we probably shouldn't play the zone.
Yeah.
He's gonna kill
Like,
them.
but everything is just up in the air. Like anything can happen with these teams. It's going to be fun to watch. I can't wait. And yeah, you're damn right. I will be putting my 20 cents on the Heat every fucking game. Give me those pluses. I hate those negatives. I'm not getting 8 cents off of my 10 cents. Suck my dick from the back. I want I want my 22 cents off of my 20 cents, sir.
I told you I won 6 cents off $1 today. But hey, I got that
Yeah.
win, baby.
Hey, 3 times is back. That's when I was doing this at the
Oh,
beginning of
good
the
shit.
episode. Yeah. But yeah, dude, I definitely think the Heat can do it. And the Heat are a team. They're hard to plan against, right? I could be
Mm.
wrong. Each of these guys could have their tells. You could be able to read them like a fucking book. I don't know. Just from my perspective, I think it would be very hard to be able to read what they do as a team because you had games in this where Max Strus played 10 minutes. You had games where he played 25. You had games where Kevin Love was the starter and got 30. You had games where he was the starter and got 15. You had everything going on. You had Caleb Martin starting. You had Vincent
You had the
starting.
game where what's his fucking name started the second half over Kevin Love, who I truly had not even
Duncan
Heinz
Robinson.
Smith. No, Haynes Smith or
No, no,
something.
no. I know who you're talking about. Fucking
I
broad ass
I
motherfucking
never even
shoulders
heard
though.
of that
It's like
fucking
it's like
guy.
Wainwrighters. No, not
And
Wainwright. That's y'all's guy.
he starts a second half over Kevin Love and does great. That was in like game 5. And then he ended up playing in game 7, so it was valuable. So it's like yeah, I agree, but
Like it'll
I
be very
think
hard. It's just it's really hard to go against what the Nuggets have been able to do this season, what they've done in these playoffs, but also at the same time, 8 seed, 4 seed, 5 seed, now 8 seed. Not not the
all
toughest
right.
to get here, Like I feel like the Nuggets gave them the best. The Suns gave them the best fight
Yeah.
so far, and that honestly that wasn't much. That's a team that had played fucking 15 games together.
Right.
Like how much of a fight is that? And also, your best player is going against a lazy fucking DeAndre Ayton. Uh, so I mean, that's fucking breakfast for dinner right there. But so this is going to be their biggest test, I feel like, in the playoffs. They only played twice in the regular season, but I feel like if I know Jimmy Buckets as well as I don't know him at all, he's probably got a picture of him, Kyle Lowry, Bam, and whoever the fuck else was waiting outside that locker room, waiting on Joker after they fucked with insert Morris brother here. Yeah, fucking, that's probably there. They're probably ready. He's probably pulling a Michael Jordan, coming to wish you good luck, and then telling himself that you just said fuck you, dinner type of thing going on. Like, yo, this motherfucker tried to break a Heat's neck. We don't stand for that shit. We're about to bust this motherfucker's neck. We're about to curb stock his fucking cheeks. Like it's, I
You
said,
think the
curb
Jokic
stock.
brothers, the other ones,
Oh,
come to
they'll
all the
be
games?
at every game, every
They're
game.
ready to go.
Absolutely. Jerseys on, tattoos showing, chains dangling, phone in hand, because you just look tougher doing this when you're talking
Because
to
you're
someone. You
not
just
scared
do.
to break it. You're like,
Yeah,
if it breaks, it's good.
I think.
It means you're
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. But also too, if somebody just takes off their hat and their glasses, you're like, oh, so you're ready.
It's real. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like when people start to, oh, hold on, bro, let me take out my,
Hold this shit for me, dog.
let me get fuck that hat, glasses, let's go. Like, wait, you're about this life. Hit him with
Yeah.
a Kevin Hart, kick the legs.
I think I got to go with another, probably going to be bold prediction, but I think it's true. The Nuggets in 5. The Nuggets haven't lost in Denver since March. They're not going to fucking lose in Denver. They're too fucking good. It's their year. Jokic is tired of these fucking individual trophies. He wants the big boy. Jamal Murray, you said it. He's renewed. He's back. He's doing his thing. And everybody else, all the role pieces are fitting in perfectly. So Malone's been underrated for too long. Actually, I think he won the Coach of the Year last year, but whatever. He's so underrated in my opinion. But I say the Nuggets in 5. I think they just have too much firepower, man.
Hey,
They don't even need to play defense. They don't care. They're just gonna run. They're gonna run. They're gonna run. The Celtics tried to play defense and failed. The Bucks tried to play defense and failed. The Knicks weren't that good. The Nuggets just don't care about defense. They're like, fuck you. We're just gonna score 130. Have at it, bro. And I just think it's gonna be too much.
so we both know that Pop's the longest tenured, right?
Mhm.
He has to be. Like, we don't even have to look
Yeah,
that
yeah.
up. So Eric Spoelstra is number 2. Mike
Uh-huh.
Malone's number 4. I'm gonna have you look it up because you're way better at Googling than I am. Who do you think is number 3?
Was
I'm going
Kerr before Malone?
I'm going Steve Kerr.
Yeah, was Kerr before Malone? If it's not Kerr,
We can both go Steve Kerr. It's
I'm just
gotta
trying
be.
to think of who it would be if it's not Kerr. I don't know of anybody.
There can't be, right?
Yeah, it would have to be Kerr. I'm gonna say Kerr.
Yeah.
That's who I would have thought.
That's what I was thinking. Because literally nobody else has been a
Kerr. It's
coach.
Kerr. He was hired 1 year before Malone.
What's the 5th? Because it's got to be a big ass drop after that, right?
Yeah, so the list that I found, all of these people are no longer coaches. 5th was Budenholzer. 6th was Dwayne Casey. 7th was Nick Nurse. 8th was Monty Williams. So let's see if I can even find Taylor Jenkins. Is he still the Grizzlies coach?
Yeah, I think so, right?
If he's not, then it's JB. It's your boy JB.
Damn, 5 years?
Yeah.
Shit.
So Taylor Jenkins, I think he's still the coach of the Grizzlies.
For now, at least.
So it would
Right,
be
it's
him.
the bald head dude, right? That's Taylor.
Yeah. So it would be
Yeah.
him. So good for him.
Yeah, for now at least.
Until Ja can't play and they lose.
Bro, has a
8
coach
games.
ever just been like, I don't want to work here anymore? Like, I quit. I want to go coach at another spot.
No, they make too much money. He's not going to do that.
Bro, that motherfuckers don't want to play basketball. They
He
want to
doesn't
go to
give
the
a fuck.
club.
Dude, What
That'd be
kind of job
frustrating.
security? What kind of job security is it to have
What the
people like
fuck do
Dylan
I know
Brooks,
about that?
to have Dylan Brooks doing dumbass shit, to have Ja Morant pulling guns out on Instagram? You think they can blame the coach for any of this shit? He's straight, bro. He's like, we could lose every game, and they're gonna blame 9 other people before they blame me. I'm good.
He's sitting here like, bro, I was the fucking 2 seed, okay? Calm down.
I did all I could
With
with these
all that,
kids.
I was
Yeah.
the 2 seed. Like,
So he's
calm
straight.
down.
He's got that job security on lock.
I guess.
All
All
right.
right, so here's a good question, real quick.
Yeah.
You hate when I do these filler shits.
Oh, I don't care.
Who do you think has the chance out of the coaches that we know about right now? Because there's still a couple holes and all that stuff. Coaches we know
Right.
about right now. Who do you think has a chance to stay there the long outside of the top 5? Well, top 4, I guess, because 5 Taylor Jenkins could still. Outside the top 5, outside top 6, because JB is probably on his way out. Taylor's probably on his
He'll be
way
out
out.
soon after the playoffs.
So
Yeah.
outside the top 5, who do you think could be the longest tenured coach?
Well, it's kind of a cop out. Um, but I think that Quinn Snyder's gonna do it in Atlanta
Ooh, okay.
because now that he's the coach, Trey Young's on the hot seat. So they're gonna give it a few years, and if it fucks up, Trey Young's gone, not Quinn Snyder. So I
Okay.
think he'll have a little bit of a pass to go 3 or 4 years with Trey. If it doesn't work, then he goes, listen, sorry, you guys failed Trey, but I'm here doing my thing, and he'll keep going. So I think it's him.
I'm gonna say Mike Brown in Sacramento. Uh, a guy.
Fuck
No,
Mike
I
Brown.
believe it. Yeah. I mean, why don't you like him? I'm a Cavs fan. I should be saying that. He fucking didn't do
I
shit
just don't think he's
as
a
a
good coach.
he's a great coach when allowed to coach, and I
Yeah.
think he's finally in that age to where he's going to be able to settle down. Um, he's kind of in his system. He knows his system, and has the confidence from the organization that he can get it done. But, oh my God, this beer is coming out now and has that trajectory going to where it looks like it's going up. And if you have an organization that believes in you, if you have the young guys that can get it done, he can be there for a good 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And I feel like he's a good enough coach and a good enough situation and organization right now with the Kings and everything that they're doing. Nobody's going to spend 50, 60, what did they spend? 100 and something thousand on that Sacramento wins with the beam.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Nobody's going to do that if they're not really truly balled in to their organization and what they're doing. And that all starts with a coach to be able to coach the fucking team. So
How long?
I felt
How
like
long of
mine
a
was a cop out
leash?
too.
How long of a leash do you think Ty Lue has in LA when every time his superstars get injured? You think he
I
just gets to keep riding?
Yeah, no, Ty Lue's going to be fine. And even if Ty Lue's going to be that guy, he could be let go of because it does seem like he ends up just getting fucked over
Yeah, he does.
by teams. He's going to be that guy that everybody knows Ty Lue's a good coach. Everybody knows he's a player's coach. And we also know that Ty Lue's like 55 years old. So for the next 15, 20 years, Ty Lue is going to be, if he's available, he'll never have to take a year off if he doesn't want to. So I think he might not have the leash with the organization, but Ty Lue is going to be able to coach as long as Ty Lue wants
Yeah,
to
he'll keep getting
coach.
those jobs.
Yeah, he's not going to be a Dwayne Casey where he's going to have to try to find a spot every couple years. He's not going to be a Nick Nurse who's going to be able to wait on a good situation. Like it's going to be too hard for Ty Lue to get to say no to all those checks that are going to keep trying to come into him every year. He's on the market. Like you got to think, like Nick Nurse probably got hit up maybe 1 or 2 times over the last couple years, and now he finally got offered a Sixers job. Ty
Right.
Lue's going to be offered these Sixers type of jobs every fucking year. Like because if Doc Rivers isn't getting done last year, you got Ty Lue sitting on the fucking table. Doc, get the fuck out of here. We're gonna go with Ty Lue. He's not doing anything today.
Mm,
That's going to be able to happen with Ty for a very long time until he gets a team that's healthy and he's not able to do what he did in 2016. That he's
yeah.
not able to do what he was able to do on that bench in LA. Like, oh yeah, he fucking bubble busted them bitches
He's
and
gonna
got a ring.
coach. He's gonna coach the Braun
Like
and
the
Bronny
1
team,
year he
whoever it
wasn't a head
is.
coach, he still won a fucking ring.
Ty
Right.
Lue's going to coach the Bron Bronny team. Whatever team it happens to be, Ty Lue's going to be the coach of it.
I don't know why I'm holding on. Gotta get
I don't
used
know
to it.
who it'll be. Maybe it'll be Cleveland again. You guys will get the
Fuck
James
no.
connection.
Bro, I'm not gonna say it because if it did happen, we both know I could never love. I think outside of the Jaguars, like the Red Sox, you know, like that was my team growing up, you know? Like I don't have the love for baseball I used to.
Right.
The Red Sox are just my team. I don't have to watch the Red Sox games. Outside of the Jaguars, like I fucking rep my Cavs. I love my Cavs, so I can't say I wouldn't. Oh, I'm gonna fucking leave if they do that. But I'll be fucking damned if they were to let that fucking snake come back for a third fucking time.
That'd
Just
be
to be able
crazy.
to fucking leave. Like, what is he gonna do? Fucking do that and then retire a fuck ass Laker or a fucking Heat? Because I could see
Nah,
his
he'd
bum ass
retire a
doing
Cav.
that.
He'd think it
I
was.
don't even give him the fucking chance. Fuck that. Don't
If
don't
he
get my. Why are you trying to
retired,
get my blood boiling so late?
so we don't believe that we're gonna be leaving here soon. If you're not Joe and you're just hanging around trying to hear something insightful, we're not here for that anymore.
But if you're just here for the bullshit, here we are.
Yeah, exactly. But if he was telling the truth and he fucking retired, which neither one of us believe, what hat would he wear in the Hall of Fame? The Heat right now, or the Lakers?
Right now, Lakers.
Hmm.
I think I right now fully believe Lakers. Just the way he talks, how humble he is to be a Laker, and how
But Lakers
grateful
fans don't even want him. They still
he.
wear Kobe jerseys to this court. They
Yeah,
don't
no
give a fuck.
shit. Yeah. You'll see more 23 fucking Michael Jordan jerseys. You'll see more 23 Jimmy Butler Bulls jerseys in that bitch.
I would venture to guess that there are more still to this day, more number 6 Miami Heat jerseys than there are 23 Lakers or 6 Lakers, whatever the fuck he wears in LA.
I don't know, just because of sales, you know? Like how many people still hold on to their.
Well, yeah, the Heat players or the fans that burnt that shit, but I think the Heat fans love him more than the Lakers fans do. I really do.
Oh yeah.
Lakers fans don't care. It's Kobe's town. It's gonna be Kobe's town. It's not that they hate LeBron. I mean, they're happy he brought him a championship, but it's Kobe's town.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's crazy.
he'll never have that like king reception as a
Mm.
Laker Hall of Famer than he would like as a Cleveland Cavalier being from Akron and being
Yeah.
drafted by them. I get that. But the fucking owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers the first time put out a full page ad in the Cleveland newspaper promising that he would win a chip before LeBron did the first time he left.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that the Cavs give two fucks to allow him to sign a one-day contract and
Oh
retire as a
no, they
Cav.
wouldn't do that.
Like I don't think that
He
would
would
ever
do the Heat
happen.
before, like the Cavs wouldn't let him, or I don't think the
Yeah.
Cavs would want to do it.
Like I don't think that would ever happen, and I don't think it would be the best reception either. Like I'm from fucking Jacksonville, Florida, and the second time was worse than the first time, for sure. And I didn't burn the jersey because I'm older and more mature, and realized that that shit is going to be able to be like talked about to my grandkids because probably by then Wembanyama will be hurt 20 times over, like I called, and he'll still be the best player that I've ever
Oh,
seen
by
with
the
my
way,
two eyes.
we didn't talk about it, but Wemby has his team on the verge of the championship. I've been watching the games on
I did see that.
NBA.com. So the next game, by the way, if you are home and are able to watch, is Friday at noon your time.
On what,
So
NBA.com?
NBA.com is
Do
showing
you
them
have
live.
to have
I
internet?
don't know. I mean, I have League Pass, so it's easy, but I do know that NBA.com's showing them for free. So
Okay. I
um,
mean, I have an internet provider I can log into. I
yeah, as
gotta
long
start
as you,
talking with this
I
thing.
think as long as you have a like NBA account, I think you're good.
Oof.
I watch it when because technically I'm at work, but I work from home, so I throw that bitch on. So I'll be watching. But he's been putting up okay numbers, but honestly, I've been watching the games and I'm like, he's almost mailing it in. Like he wants to win. He's playing to win. And when I say mailing it in, by the way, I think he had 18 points, 14 rebounds, and like 3 assists last game. He's still doing good. It's just that he's not trying to hurt himself.
He doesn't have to go full
Yeah.
throttle anymore.
Yeah.
If you're not watching this on YouTube, or if you're listening to this and you wonder why I sound weird, trying to get to talking with my mouth guard in, and if you think it's not needed, I fucking got busted twice tonight by elbows, and this thing came in handy. But yeah, no, I agree. I think, and the thing with, for some reason, his team in this league is really good. That team Luca had, whenever Luca was going through his hype
When he was
before
the
his
MVP
draft,
and all that shit.
he had to score 30, 40 a game. Like Wembanyama doesn't. Like this
If they
league,
get to
I
the
guess.
finals, he'll have to. There's a
Okay.
fucking good team that's gonna be waiting for them in the finals. And I say that never watching a single game, but their record shows that they're really good. So the number one seed in the playoffs, they're gonna
But
be
yeah,
waiting for them in the finals. So.
and Luca was adamant about the fact that he didn't give two fucks about the NBA.
That's true.
At the end of the day, it was going to be an adventure for him. It wasn't his end goal. What he was doing at 17 years old for his country and for his cities and everything that he was doing, that was more important than anything he'll do in the NBA. That's not on me. That's a quote from him. Wembanyama is the exact opposite.
Uh-huh.
He wants to own the NBA. He wants to be the best ever. And yeah, I think that means he's very excited to be in San Antonio, Spur. If Charlotte would have got number one, he probably would have rolled his ankle on purpose.
Maybe he would have decided to stay in France one more year.
He said, he's like, what's the opposite of we?
I think it's just no in France.
I think everything's fucking no, except Germany. 9.
9?
Because they like to count. Ha, get it.
I get it. It's not very funny, but I get it.
I'm a dad.
All right, so what do you have before we get out of here? Anything cool?
Do you got the shout out?
I can. It's kind of weak, and so if you got
That's
one,
fine. I just got a very nice happy birthday to our best listener ever. It's not today. It's not tomorrow. It was like 2 days ago. But Papa Joe, shout out to you for another fucking lap around the sun, baby. Yeah. I love you to death. We both know how much you mean to me and how inspirational you are, and everything you go through and how you're able to put all these different hats on and be the man all the time. You don't get many days to celebrate yourself. I don't think on Father's Day you even care too much because now you're a grandfather, and that's your hat you like to wear now. So happy birthday, belated, for the podcast. I hit you up because I'm the shit. No, I'm kidding. But happy birthday to you. We love you here at No Scrubs Allowed, and I'm going to get you a shirt. It's going to happen. We're going to figure it out. It's easy nowadays to get it done. But in the next week, you will be getting a No Scrub shirt from us. I didn't want to text it to you because I want to know that you're still listening.
And he hits me up on Facebook like every week, telling me. Nice. He hit me up last week. I forgot to reply, but he was like, "I loved how you said be like Kirsch, or not be like Kirsch. I'll be like Randy Johnson and fuck the obstacles." I was like, yeah.
Right. So yeah. So I didn't want to let you know that was going to be a present, but look forward to a No Scrub shirt if you're listening. If not, be in for a great surprise.
He's definitely listening. No, I mean that's huge. That's awesome. We'll definitely shout out to him. The only thing I was gonna shout out to, because I didn't have anything, was just shout out to Ohtani and Trout. Continue to doing things that just fucking
doesn't
unreal. Matter. They won. It did matter. They actually won. But Ohtani hit. I'm gonna circle back around to Joe. Don't worry, we'll end on him. But Ohtani hit a 459-foot home run, his longest of his career. And then Trout said, "Hold my beer." They don't drink beer during the games, but he said, "Hold my beer." Came up 461. Said, "Fuck you, Ohtani. I'll one up you no matter what, dog." So it's crazy just to see these two best players, and I'm gonna be super excited that Ohtani's on the Dodgers next year, and I hope that Trout goes somewhere else too, because like the Angels, I want to like the Angels. I go to Angels games because they're close by. It's hard to like the Angels. It's really fucking hard, and they don't make it easy when they lose games that these
But I don't,
dudes hit these
bro.
crazy shots. So
Nobody. There's two people that nobody has their back to, right? The
yeah,
pitcher and the catcher. And that's the two positions that they could care less about fucking investing in. It's the most frustrating thing as a baseball fan. Like
yeah.
just somebody who appreciates the game. And when you have a fucking gym, let alone you go down and you open up this beautiful oyster and oh, there's two black pearls. There's two? You don't throw it back in the fucking ocean. No, you go fucking secure your bag, son. Like
Yeah,
it's insane and what they've done. So I absolutely agree. Mike Trout's already came out. He's staying an Angel until he
he's gonna be the
retires,
rest of his life. Yeah.
unfortunately. But hopefully Otani is on that Gen Z shit and it is with the I identify as a Dodger this year and goes over to the stadium that's not too it's not too far, but it takes probably about what 55 minutes because of traffic.
Probably longer because it's not in LA. It's in like Northeast LA, and you got to go on these freaking windy ass back roads.
Yeah, you
It's
gotta
kind of
go.
stupid.
You gotta go to the 401 to the 5. You gotta. I know you gotta get on the 5
Yeah, the
to get
5
out
leads
of.
right to it,
Yeah, I
basically.
know
But you have
that.
to get off
This
and do all this.
show on Netflix. I'm learning a lot about your area, brother. Uh,
Hey,
yeah, Southeast LA can suck my dick. I'll never be there. Fuck that. I'm so good on Southeast LA. But hey, y'all are.
what's wrong
Y'all,
with Southeast LA?
I'm good. Compton's there.
No, Compton's pretty much dead east or dead south, I would say. Um,
Oh well, where the way the map had it, it's like LA. Then you got Beverly Hills, Hollywood,
in the
downtown,
Northwest. Yeah,
downtown. Then you got Compton down here. So
yeah,
that's
it's
what I was
like
saying.
straight
Southeast,
south a little bit.
south.
All
Well,
right.
yeah, straight south of downtown,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
from where
When
the
I
center
say
point of the
LA,
map.
oh,
Yeah,
it's
but
probably like the airport or some bullshit that they put
maybe,
on the
but it's
map.
like down.
When I
But
think of LA, I think of downtown LA and then Compton South.
okay. But yeah, so, but I'm good. Uh, the show is crazy. But yeah, it seems like a nice place. But that'd be dope if Otani was able to get out of
It
there
will.
because it when you have a guy like Otani and if a team could find some way to be able
Mhm.
to just do because we don't have the trade deadline, guys, for another fucking oh yeah, wait, no, it's fucking June. Never mind. Wait, yeah, no, we don't have it for
We
another
gotta,
like week, 2 weeks,
yeah.
3 weeks. So if somebody could
It's
do a
like
package
July
deal,
4th, right? Or around
yeah,
there.
around there. But like it to package both of them and be like, yo, if
Oh
y'all
my
don't want to
God.
succeed with them, we will, and literally just not have a prospect for the next 10 years. That would be amazing.
How many is it like the
See the
NBA where you can only give
Orioles
away certain draft picks, or can you literally just say like we'll give you every draft pick for the next 5 years? We don't give a fuck.
possibly
I don't
because
know.
like the
I don't know.
Braves can't do it. The Braves what the Braves are doing. The Braves are doing Moneyball type shit.
The
Like
Mets should do that shit because they try
the
to be
Mets
good and
could.
it doesn't
Yeah, the
work.
Mets can. The Braves can't. They can't do it. They're playing a particular type of ball. That's when the Rays can't do it.
Yeah.
Any other team in the not Major League Baseball organization of teams
The Mets
could.
should
The
say we'll
Dodgers
give you
could fucking
DeGrom and Lindor or
give
whatever
them
that
give them
shortstop is.
fucking max.
Is he's not on there anymore, is he? What? Give him both of them. Fuck. Give him DeGrom,
Give them
Max,
Verlander.
and
Isn't
I
No,
think
I think
it's
it's Verlander, not Max.
yeah.
No,
Okay,
Verlander
that's
is it? I don't. I know. I think it
think
is
I don't know.
Max.
Give
Who
him
cares?
DeGrom, whoever the second pitcher is, Francisco Lindor, or whoever shortstop they signed, and any prospects they want. Just give them a blank fucking check
Yeah,
and say, let's do this. Let's see what happens.
get them
Just
both the
trade
fuck out of there.
superstars. Trade superstars around.
But it sucks. It's sad because Otani's doing crazy things. It seemed like he was going a little bit of slump. But he's the shit.
So I'll ask you as a baseball player who, because you played in high school, you both pitched and hit. I saw a thing on Instagram today. Would you rather pitch to Otani or take an at bat against Otani? If you had to do one for your life, which one would you feel more confident doing?
Would I have to strike him out, or can I not give up a
So if you
homer?
pitch to him, you have to get him out, and if you hit on him, you'd have to get on base one way or the other. It could be a walk. It doesn't matter. But which one would you rather do?
I'm pitching.
Mm.
I'm pitching. I'm pitching slow. I'm pitching low inside. You're fucking like, or you're just gonna get 4 balls and walk.
He's gonna
But
take a step back and
I'm
rake
saying
your
he's
shit.
gonna see my 65-mile-an-hour fastball just coming inside, and he's gonna try to take a step back, and he's gonna get jammed up a little bit, and he's gonna get out. It's gonna
He's gonna
happen.
pop it up or something.
Or I'm just gonna hit him with those fucking, what are they calling that pitch that everybody throws in softball, but when they throw it in baseball, it's
The scoofus, or what's it called?
like a
Cephus pitch?
helo. Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Something
whatever
like
it is. I'll just throw some of those at his ass.
that.
I can dot it. I know I can dot those.
Yeah, as long as you can get it over the plate just in case he takes it. That's all that
Yeah,
matters.
I can dot them. But I would have more confidence because anybody that listened back in the day when we had all them listeners for a while, and
True.
Eddie was talking about baseball every fucking episode. Your boy can't hit a baseball to save
I
his
can't do
life.
either one.
I played for Pinal Baseball or Pinal Baptist Academy. Played against Florida Deaf and Blind in my league. I had 2 fucking hits the whole season, brothers. I can't hit. Can't
You
hit a
got struck
baseball.
out by a blind kid, bro.
No, I actually was pitching that game, and for
Gotcha.
some, yeah, we weren't hitting, but yeah, that was my 8-4
Nice.
against the fucking deaf kids. Yeah, and Terry
Hey,
had to pull me out because I couldn't get the complete Mercy Rule game on him. Because fuck
that's
me,
so
right?
dumb. That's so
Yeah,
dumb.
but yeah, I can't hit for shit, but I definitely can dot it. I haven't thrown a pitch since when did I leave Jacksonville? Yeah, since like 2014, because the ballpark was right there. I had a bucket of balls at my mom's house still for some
Nice.
odd reason, and would just go throw. But yeah, I haven't thrown in 10 years now, so
Uh,
I might pull something. I might not be able to throw over 50, but I have more confidence in being able to paint that rubber than I do wood on ball.
I would bat. I would use all of my fucking energy. No, I would use all my energy to make the most perfect swing that I can do, which is still bad, but I would try so hard to swing properly at the first pitch, just so he thinks that I'm going to swing, and then hope he pitches 4 balls. Because if you just take the first one, then he's going to throw you strikes. So you swing to show some confidence, and then you hope he throws you 4 balls. That's the secret. That's what I'd go with.
Okay.
Because I can't hit shit. You could throw me a batting practice fastball and I'd strike out on that bitch. So I played not for a real team, but for a church league slow pitch softball before I met Brandon Steele. This was at College Park Baptist. Um,
Oh yeah,
and I
that's
led
right
the
when I was
league
coming
in
around.
strikeouts as a batter, by the way. This was slow pitch softball. The season record in strikeouts was 3. I had 17 strikeouts and shattered the record in slow pitch softball. They ended up using me as a pinch runner. They were like, "You're good, bro. You could just be a runner." But we won the championship, so they needed my 17 strikeouts, fuckers.
Oh, College Park, what turned into Lemon Heights? Probably now Oscar
I don't
Mayer
know.
Wiener Church of Christ.
I don't know what it's called now, but I know that Brother
Bro,
Barry's not there anymore. Shout out to
did you?
Brother Barry.
Hey, yeah,
I
shout
loved
out
him.
Brother Barry. Did you see them? Can't say mother effer after talking about College Park, but you see them? You see them people there in Palaca got a checkers and they had like a 3.5 hour wait on the first day.
I didn't see that. That's
Can't
hilarious.
give them motherfuckers anything. I can say it now. We moved on subjects.
Checkers. That's not even that good.
Bro. I mean, right now the fryers are clean, the grease is pretty.
Right.
So
True.
those fries are probably fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I don't even like the burgers there, bro. Like I get the chicken bite box, just chicken little fucking not even pure chicken, just chicken guts, painted white, breaded with some checkers fries. I'm good to go. but it's nasty as shit these days. It's not. They don't keep. Remember back in the day, like Checkers kept themselves to a higher standard than like Burger King and McDonald's and
Yeah.
shit. Their shit was always nice, always fresh. Fuck no, bro. It's greasy, it's soppy, it's at least the location I'm blessed to be around.
Well, no, that's really cool. So swinging back around, I didn't get to say happy birthday. Seal was talking, but that's fine. So happy birthday to you, Joe, as well. I did not know. So Seal doesn't make me privy to this information until it's game time.
My bad.
But no, that's cool, man. It was really obviously nice to meet you at Seal's wedding. One day I'll make it back. Me and my girl are trying to plan a trip back across the pond, as you say, across the land, from Cali to Florida, and it'll be exciting to see you another couple times when I come over.
Sure.
But yeah, happy birthday to you. I know you've been an influence on Seal. It's cool to see that you guys have that connection. So it's fucking dope. Um, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
Nah, just Joe's the shit. He's been through a lot in his life. Even when I didn't really know him, when I was hanging out with Chris, he was that guy. He was there. He was in the corner. He was on his laptop. He was doing his job, but also at the same time, he was there for his kids when they were growing up. He was at every basketball game, for all his kids, whatever the oldest one was doing. I don't think he was really in sports. Always seeing them traveling, to see family, to see friends, to make sure that their life is happy. That's something that I want to do. He's not a guy who's wealthy, has yachts, has fucking properties, but he's a guy who's wealthy in happiness, and that's something that I aspire to be. A family man who will really do anything for his family, will give everything up for his family and their happiness, and also tries to keep that same level of happiness and mental stability. That's something that I aspire to do, and have in my life, and that's why I love Joe so much because he's a supportive person and never is like, but this happened to me or poor me. And we both know the people that I grew up with, and that's kind of the type of people that I always had to deal with. So to have a parental figure like that, is really amazing. And Joe is the absolute shit, and somebody that we can all aspire to be in one way or another. And be like Joe, be the shit, be a stud, don't be a scrub. I said that wrong.
Be a stud, don't be a stud.